Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next episode of the Office 365 Remote Ready series. Today we're going to talk about, on my opinion, my humble opinion, a very interesting topic and very interesting application and powerful tool, which is a part of your Office 365 subscription called Microsoft Forms or Microsoft Forms Pro. My name is Andrii Burlutsky, and I'm a strategic marketing manager for Smart Business. Smart Business is a Microsoft partner, and by design, we're a company who is specialized in business process automation using CRM and ERP system, which you know as Microsoft Dynamics NAV, Microsoft CRM, and other platforms. Also, we sell Microsoft's products. It is Microsoft Azure, it's Office 365, it's Microsoft 365, and also we have our own solutions for HR, for retail, using artificial intelligence technologies inside. So we're ready to start, and before I will jump into the demo, to the readiness to educate you and show you some Office Microsoft Forms capabilities, I would like to remind you that when we are talking about using different tools of Office in Office 365, we always need to consider what we use when and why. So Microsoft Forms is a very powerful tool which helps you to organize and create different types of polls, surveys, quiz, etc. And if we look into our productivity in the company, in the organization, we see three types of productivity styles, I would say, which we need to consider before starting using Forms or any other application. First of all, this is type of productivity which is called individual productivity. So why do we need Forms or any type of surveys, polls, quizzes when we are individual contributor working with our project, tasks, etc.? So we need the Forms when we need to gather a lot of information from the large amount of audience. For example, when HR needs to create a survey to understand how employees are satisfied with current remote work conditions. Or for example, if you would like to send your questionnaire to customers in order to get the Net Promoter Score feedback from them, how they are satisfied working with you as a company. Then another one, when we're talking about team productivity, when we're talking about virtual project team, we need Forms there when we need to constantly need to gather feedback or gather information from our team, which can consist of 2, 3, 5, or even 50 or even more people. But this is more about working internally and all the time being able to get information from people, asking them to fill your forms. Last but not least, the third type of productivity is organizational productivity. When the company top down wants to gather feedback about employees or from employees or from the customers, right, and understand the average temperature across the organization and make operational or management decision. This is the main idea. So how and when to use Microsoft Forms? So this is first of all powerful tool to create different type of polls. The second one is to create different types of quizzes, tests in order to check the knowledge, for example, or other scenarios. The third and very important thing is to gather feedback, all the types of feedback from different audiences or different people, either from those who work in your organization or those who are outside your organization. And last but not least, quizzes. I've mentioned them before, so this is like to create kind of quizzes, interactive, for students, for pupils, for employees, for those who are studying, or create quizzes when you are using a learning management system in your company, and you can integrate quizzes in order to test knowledges from the people. If you are not using any type of learning management system, now in Q&A panel, you will get a link to the explanation what learning management system is, and you can request and try our learning management system, which is called Smart HCM and LMS. The link to the web page will be right now in your Q&A panel. So we are about to start. To start using Microsoft Forms, we have two options. On the screen, you see the links to two types of Microsoft Forms. The first one is Microsoft Forms Pro. This is a service which is part of your Office 365 subscription, came to the Office about 1 year ago. So it's pretty fresh, it's new, it's wonderfully modern, so you can go right there and start using it. Or if you prefer, for example, and you already using Microsoft Forms, so it's a regular application which came or become the part of Office 365 around 3 years ago, you can use it if you're comfortable with that. There is some difference between those two services applications, but for now, for today's demo, this doesn't make any, let's say, challenge for us. That's why I will use Microsoft Forms Pro for demonstration, but you can use Forms Pro or regular Forms as you wish. You will not see the huge difference. But at the end of the webinar, I will explain, or during the webinar, I will explain what's the difference, and I will try to show you on the screen. So right now, I will switch and show you my screen. We will jump into the Microsoft Forms Pro, and I will start showing you how it works. This is my, on the screen, you see my Office 365 menu. I have all of my applications, and Microsoft Forms is here. So what I'm doing, I'm clicking on it and switching to the service itself. So it's loading. Yeah, this is the list of my forms that have been created before or earlier. Today I will show you step by step how to create your own survey or your own quiz using Microsoft Forms. So let me start from describing you the interface, how it works, what we have there, and how we can use different features from the very beginning. So on the screen you see two main buttons, New Pro Survey or New Quiz. This is that simple. If you want to create survey, it's a kind of poll, it's not very much interactive, but still there are some features to be interactive as well. Or you can create a quiz, which is very much interactive. You can use points, you can count the amount of answered questions, right questions, etc. What else we have? So this is my forms. Here you will see all the forms that you have created on your own. If we go to the shared with me, you will see all the polls that have been created by someone, but shared with you in order to collaborate together, work on the same poll when you are creating it, or someone has shared with you the poll or quiz results so you can see the results, analyze it because you are, for example, stakeholder of this questionnaire. And the other one is the group forms. If you are creating the poll or quiz which is connected to your Office 365 groups. Those groups can be identified or seen when you are creating Microsoft Teams in Microsoft Team. This is actually where you create a new group and you can connect your poll to those groups. So what else do we have here? Actually, this is it. This is what we have in order to start creating our poll. So before we jump into the creation, let me show you what do you need in order to create a poll or a quiz in 5 minutes. Because this is how we stated our name of our event. On the screen, you see my OneNote. This is my electronic organizer, where I have prepared beforehand all the questions that I'm going to put in my poll. So this is critical and crucial before creating a poll to create a template, create your questions, answers, examples, what you are going to use. You see on the screen. So this is how I'm doing it. Otherwise, you will have to create it or invent on the go while you're creating a form in order to avoid, let's say, to be faster, to be more productive. I advise you to use OneNote, create your own questions, answers, all the consequences between the questions, and then jump into the poll. So I will, from time to time, switch to my OneNote in order to take the questions that I have prepared. So let's create a pro survey. So on the screen, you see a very simple interface which allows us to create a survey. What do we have here? We have an interface where we put our questions, where we give a name to our survey. Then we have responses. This is where we're gonna get all the answers and analytics on our surveys or quizzes that we're gonna get from the people who are requested to give the answers. Here on we have preview button where we can preview all our surveys. For now we have nothing to preview. Theme, where we can set up theme, colors, pictures of our poll, so it will be more, let's say, beauty, user-friendly. We can beautify it with colors, or prepared by default pictures, or even we can use and customize our theme using pictures, or using our own colors. For example, our corporate colors, if poll is, if we would like to do it. We have a button, send. This is actually how we're gonna share our poll, and I will go to this, to the demonstration of these features later on. At the very end, where we have 3 buttons, we have more additional features which are hidden, but I would like you to know that after the button send and 3 dots, we have additional features. First of all, it is share, to share our poll with other people in order to collaborate together, right? To share with team, to share with your peers or stakeholders of the survey. Survey variables, for if we would like to customize and, for example, make our survey very personal to someone. For example, we want to include first and the last name of the people who receive our poll. We can add those variables right here. Branching rules, if we would like to make an interconnection between the questions. For example, if person has answered to the question 1, then we allow this person to answer to the question 2. And if there is no answer to the question 2, or it is wrong answer, we switch, we can end the poll or allow this person to answer to the question number 5, 10, etc. So this is how we can create a scenario of answers to the questions. Multilingual. We can switch the interface of the, not of the interface where we're creating poll, but where we can switch the interface of all created by default text and messages. And there are some other settings that I will show you shortly. Security features, who can actually answer your poll by the link. Would you like to record the name? Would you like to record the email address of this person? Do you allow anyone by the link? Do you allow anyone by the link to answer the question, or would you like to limit people to answer to your poll only to those who are working in your company and those who have Office 365 credentials and account? There are even more options here that you can use. For example, you can shuffle questions. when you can mix the questions so nobody knows the order, right? For example, it's good for education, or if you check knowledge inside your company after workshop, after readiness, after using learning management system. You can create a thank you message to those who has answered your poll. You can create a customized message that thank you for investing time to complete poll. This is very polite. We can also customize the footer. And I think some more additional good options are to set up when the survey is started, when it is finished. So when it is available and when it is unavailable, right? The survey sometimes has the beginning and sometimes they have the end. So I think this is the most important features and settings that I would wanted to show you. Now let me show you how to create a survey. So let's start. So here we can put the name of our survey, right? Let's do it. Our survey name will be knowledge test. Knowledge test. So I have additional options here to customize the text. I can make it bold. I can put some colors over here. For example, orange. And I will make it a little bit bigger by size. So it will be 16. Yeah, good. What else I can do? I can add some pictures here. So it's knowledge, it's test. Let me see what I can do here. So by default, you will be able to find any picture from Bing search. This is very, it's very easy. It's very useful. You just type any search, right? And you select what you would like to use. For example, this one. What you can do as well, you can also upload your own picture that you have prepared with your designer, or you can also upload some pictures from the internet. So it's done. Now let's do a short description of our test. Not test, but survey. This is special survey. Please. 5 minutes to answer. Ready. Now we are about to put our questions. So I click add new. This is how I add new questions. And I will start from the first option is choice questions, when we can select between different options. What we else here have in order to create our questions? We have choice. We have text. This is when we give the chance to the person who will answer your poll or your questionnaire to type their answer more wider than just select the choice, right? To put text, some ideas, etc. We have a rating when we can rate the questions or poll from 1 to 5 using smiles, using stars, etc., etc. We can select the date. This is poll when we ask person to select the most appropriate date, for example, for event, for corporate event, for training, for any other activity actually that's going to happen in the future. Here we have additional options. It is ranking, you see. It is Likert. It's a more complex poll when we have a lot of the one question, several options, and they are related to each other. And I will show you later on. We can upload file for our question. It can be Word, PowerPoint, Excel, so person can use and learn, for example, get familiar with the document before answering your question. NPS, Net Promoter Score, is a level of satisfaction of your employees or your customers with your company. And it is already created by default, so you can easily use this like a template and send to your employees or customers. And section. Section is when we can add additional modules which are not related to questions itself, right? It can be part like text for an explanation, more pictures, more additional information that can be part of your questionnaire. So I will start with choice. So the only thing I need to do is to put my questions. Let me go to my OneNote. My first question is, can the brain run out of memory? Good question, isn't it? I'm copying and paste the question. So this is, here it is. You see, if you are using, if you use English questions, for example, in English language, the system, Microsoft Forms, in artificial intelligence inside, will actually immediately suggest some options of answers that you can use. And I can just use add all, and all suggestions are taken. Yes, no, maybe. Well, it can look like that I'm done, but I would like to add some picture to beautify my design. Brain. I will take this one. No, it's now better. So this is a very simple question. Now I will go to preview to see how it looks like. Okay, this is what my people or those who will answer my poll will see when they get the link for the response. I don't like how knowledge test look like, and I will change it now. But what I can see here again as well, I can see how my questionnaire, my poll will look like on PC computer and also on mobile interface. If I'm satisfied, I'm satisfied. If not, I will continue editing the poll. Okay, now I understand how it works. That's good. I don't like the color of the knowledge test. I would make it white. That's really better. Let's see. Yes, it's better now. Going back. So this is one question that I get, right? Let me add one more question to this survey. How we do it? I just click add new. I will select the next question. The next question that I will take, how long can person live eating only Snickers and water? Again, it will be choice. Okay, and answer. So now I will put my answers, my options of the answers. What I have, a year, very long, in your option. A year, very long, and other option. The other option can be option from the person who doesn't agree or see that they agree with first or second option that you have proposed. So they have their own option. Okay. Also, let's insert some images like Snickers. Okay. It's nice now. Let's see preview. Pretty simple, easy, and it is ready. The more questions I have, I'm just using copy paste, prepare images, and now I'm ready to send this questionnaire to my peers or to my customers. So what I'm doing to send this to the people to answer. Before I'm sending it, I would like to customize a little bit a theme of the interface. Let's see what we have. Well, for example, I like this one. And now I'm clicking send. So this is my options. Now I need to share my poll with other people and get the answers from them. How I can do it? Let's see on the screen. First of all, I can send it by email. And this will be sent as an invitation to the other people to answer my poll. I'm clicking send email. And I select who will get it. For example, Evgeny, Maria, Ivan, the more people I have, the more better results I will have. Okay, this is how it will look like on the screen in my mail. The only thing that people will do, they click start survey and survey begins. Send. Okay, but what if I need another option? What do we have here? We have option to build your poll into your website, into your external website in the internet or your internal website and intranet. For this, I have an option empt code. I click empt code, generate, and you see I get a code which I copy and paste into my web page, code in HTML, etc. Now we have a link. You see, this is non-personalized survey link. So it means that I will not be able to get answers, to know who has answered how. This is mostly an anonymous link. So only because I want to get the general feedback on my questions. I click copy, and what I can do now, I go to my Teams, for example, go to my chat window, and I ask my peers to answer this poll. Or I can use any other messengers, but for corporate need, for example, if I need to get it from my team, I use Microsoft Teams chat. I can do the same in the virtual teams in Teams. Guys. So now they get a link, and using this link, anyone inside my organization or outside my organization can answer my questions. My favorite thing is QR code. This is the QR code that you can generate automatically and put on your slides in PowerPoint. So when you present something from the screen, from PowerPoint in front of the audience, you can easily ask them using their smartphone to scan your QR code and answer your questions during the presentation. So I'm going back because now I want to show you how to create a quiz. So I'm going back to my Forms Pro. Now I'm using new quiz. The quiz we are using when we not only want to ask people to answer your questions, but we would like to assess their knowledge, for example. So new quiz, this is our new quiz. For the quiz, I have prepared additional or new or extended questions. So again, we will start from quiz or test on can the brain run out of the memory. So we will give a name. It will be knowledge quiz after workshop. Yes. I will give a picture from the Bing. Nice pictures, by the way. Done. I will skip some description. I will jump into the questions. So again, I give a question of the choice. If you remember, can the brand out of the memories. Again, I will select suggested options. You see, they are created automatically. But you see, we have additional options here. In front of the options, I have display a message to respondents who selected this answer. So I have answers yes, no, and maybe. But for the yes answer, I have a detailed explanation why yes. And here it is. But no one person has yet lived to see this moment. There are about 2 quadrillion bytes of our memory brain, which is about 300 years of filming the video. So I'm taking this text, so the person will know why the answer is correct. Okay, it looks nice. Meanwhile, there is also one more option. I need to select which of the answers is correct. For this, I use this tick as a correct answer. So I mark this choice as a correct one. Okay, done. Now we do the same with answer no. For this, I also have additional explanation for the person. This one on the screen, the answer is wrong, it actually can. And again, answer the text from the previous one. This is how it works. Instead of maybe, I will suggest the other opinion. What else I can do here? Down top, very down, I can put points for correct answer to this question. For example, for correct answer to this question, I give 5 points for the person. 5. I can make this answer a question as a required one. So you cannot end the poll before you answer all the questions that are required. So I put required. Or if you have multiple answers that are correct, for example, you can select this option. But for us, it's not applicable. Okay, here it is done. I just will add one more new question. And this will be, for example, let's select the question. The question will be, would you recommend our poll to your friends? And I will put ratings. I will select the ratings. If person will answer this question, we will give one point. And here we can select whether we put the stars or if we would like to put the numbers for the poll. I will take stars. And how many stars? From 1 to 10. Let's take 10. And this option will be also required. Looks nice? We have more additional theme for to beautify our poll. It is made by artificial intelligence, which is built into the Microsoft Forms. Let's select the nice one over here. Love it. Yeah, that's much better. So I'm going to preview. Okay, this is how it works. This is what other people will see when you send the link to your poll. The only thing I need to do else is to share and select how I would like to distribute it. From security reasons, you can select two options. First of all, anyone using this link can respond to your questions. Or if you would like to limit the people who will answer your poll by only those who work inside your company, you select the option only people in my organization can respond to the poll. So I will take only people from my organization can respond to the poll. And again, I will send it using chat to my peers. Hey guys, a new quiz has arrived. Good. Okay. While we were creating a quiz, we also got some answers in our first poll. This is our poll. We have two responses for invitations. And we are still continuing getting answers to the questions from the people. As soon as we're going to have even more, we're going to have an analytics, and I will show you in the very end. So one more thing I want to show you what we can do in the quiz. I will take our quiz. Good. Instead of adding pictures to beautify your question, you can also add a special media files so people can learn even more about your question to find the correct answer. For example, if I click Insert Media, I have two options, Insert Image, which we did during the poll, but for the quiz, I would like to offer the people who will answer to see a short video about how our brain is working. So I select video, and here I need to add a URL from my Microsoft Stream, for example, service, or from YouTube. In your Office 365 subscription, you have a service which is called Stream. This is internal corporate video service. So I have one video over here which I would like people to see or watch before they answer my question. I go to this video. I take a link. I'm copying it and make a paste to this area. Nice. You see, now we make it even more interactive when we add media files for people into our survey, into our quiz. So let's preview. Very good. So now they watch the video and then they answer the questions, then they get the points. You see, they see that 5 points, and this small star shows that this question is mandatory or required. Going back. So some other interesting things that you can do in terms of interactivity of our quizzes. So I go back to our knowledge check quiz, and I now can do an interconnection between first and the second question. What does it mean? Let me show you. So I go to my question number 1, and here I have 3 dots with additional options. I will select add branching. So I create dependencies between answers to the first question and questions in the second option. So add branching. So what is it here? Now I can select what will happen depending on how person will answer on my first question. For example, if the answer for the first question about the brain memory is correct, I allow the person to go to my second question. If the answer to my second question is no, I allow a person to go again to my second question. But if the answer to my first question is selected by person individually, so it gives its own answer, its own thoughts on the question, I will end the for, and person will not be allowed to answer the last or second question. End the for. It's done. What I love the most, you do not need to save anything. Everything will be saved automatically as soon as you set up your questionnaire. So I'm clicking back. Let's check if we have any answers. Nobody still answered the quiz. Let me remind in my teams. Maybe I will add some more people so they can answer to my quiz. I will ask Evgeny to answer my question for him to know which one, right? I will copy a link and send to him in the chat. Okay, that's what here. That's the easy. So what else I wanted to show you? I wanted to show you what kind of results and analytics we can see when we ask questions to answer our poll or our surveys. Yeah, this is, you see on the screen what we can see, how many people have been invited, how many responses we've got, what's the NPS, what the sentiments when we do it in English language. The Microsoft Forms is able to analyze the mood or the sentiments of the wordings that are used by people and give you insights. What was the mood when people were thinking about your question and thinking about their answers? Let's see to the responses. You see we have a chart that we can use or graph that we can put into the PowerPoint presentation or to understand what is the pulse, what is the dynamics of the organization, or to the question that we have answered. And here are some more details that are coming. You see, we have people who has answered, we have emails, we have their analytics of NPS. You see if they are a promoter of our company, or for example, if they are detractor. If they are promoter of our product, of our company as a customer, or they are detractor. So it's very interesting analytics that we can export, for example, to the Excel or any other tool like Power BI, for example. So let's see if we have any new answers for analytics. Here is our quiz. We have one response. Okay, here is our one response. You see, average score is 5, while maximum is 6. Can the brain run out of memory? You see, one answer and rating. Well, that's good. The more people we have, the more meaningful results we get. So let's move on. The last thing I wanted to show you are examples where you can where you can use polls, questionnaires, because when we create them, we usually do it for something, and we need distribute and share our questions, our links through different digital channels. And by the way, you can do it in any digital channel. For example, how I'm doing it, and I have shown you right now already on the screen. I send, for example, polls to the chat with my peers if I need to quickly ask the questions. I can also integrate my polls, my questions, my quizzes into these emails that I send to the customers, to partners, for example, etc. I can also share through different messengers. It can be Microsoft Teams, it can be Facebook Messenger, it can be WhatsApp, it can be Telegram, any you use for different needs. You can also create a poll in a Yammer. If you are using Yammer, which is part of your Office 365 subscription, you can easily ask the question to all the company and get the answer from 100, 300 employees on the burning questions for HR, for sales, or even CEO of the company. Also, you can poll in the Facebook, right, in your post, for example, individual post, or you can also post the polls or links to the questionnaire in your corporate Facebook page. Last but not least is to use QR codes that are generated automatically, right, and put in your PowerPoint presentation for the audience to be able to get the feedback on what you are showing on the screen, on the slides, etc. So this is actually everything I wanted to show you today. Before we finish, I would like to take some questions if we have those. Okay, question from Anonymous. Is there a possibility to create surveys where respondents will be anonymous? Because in responses, there are more than 4 where I can see user name. Yes, so actually in the settings, you can easily find whether its poll will be totally anonymous or which data you can gather. While I will answer your question, well, I will answer other questions, I will try to quickly find this option to show you on the screen. Before that, a question from Dan. How can I work together with representatives of other companies in forums? Dan, it's a very good question. First of all, you can create a link with other let me show you on the screen. Do we see right now forms on the screen? Yeah, super. So I will try to answer both questions right now. It's a quiz. We need a poll. Okay, this is the poll. Okay, then this is answer to your question. In the 3 dots menu, there is share button where you can add a link for other people to collaborate, either to see your questions or to work together. In order to be able to work with people outside your organization, you need to create a guest account of this person in your Active Directory in Office 365. This is how it works. Or there is option number 2. You can also invite this person as a guest into your Microsoft Teams, right? And then you will be able to share this link with this person from other company outside your organization to collaborate on the link. Okay, the first question which came about if poll can be anonymous. Yes, it can be. So this is the option. Anyone with the link can respond, and then I decide if I would like to record the name of the person or not. And then send the message for the respondents. Make those settings before you send the link to answer your questions. Question from Evan. Which type of forms is better to using in retail company? Forms or Forms Pro? Evan, actually you can immediately start using Forms Pro because Forms Pro is more modern. It became available in 2019, while Forms regular one became part of Office 365 in 2016, if I remember correctly. So start using Forms Pro, and this will be the great one, the great option. Question from Leah. Mathematical formulas and tables can be used in form. If so, how to do it? Again, I will share my screen. So what about mathematical formulas? Going to Forms Pro, going to my quiz. So the only one thing to use the formulas from math in those questioning is actually to copy and paste formulas into the field where a person can in a free form give the answer. How I would do it? I would click a new form or a new question, take an option text, and give a question. Please solve right, and give the answer for the person, which can be done freely, I would say. Let's see how it will look like. Preview. Oh, sorry. It doesn't want to show the free space. Okay. So the idea is that here we get free space for person to answer your question. So you cannot add formulas like in OneNote, for example, to resolve it, but you can put formula right here and give the person the space to make an answer. I hope you answered your question. I understand that probably the question coming from education, but more specialized functions I didn't see in forms before. Coming back to questions. Is it possible to insert in form the attached file? Send him attached file when he finished this survey. Yes, let me show you on the screen how to do it. For example, you see First of all, we can add the space where people who answer your questions or fill the form, first of all, can upload their files for your review. For example, it can be homework, it can be final project which is completed after workshops or the readiness. So I do OK. And people can upload here their document. It can be limited up to 1 gigabyte, so it can be both Word, Microsoft Office files like Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, but it also can be media files that you can that they can upload. It was my pleasure to see you all together today, virtually, as always, but my pleasure was to demo you Microsoft Forms. Please start using it. Thank you very much for joining and being with us today. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye. See you next week.